What's up, everybody, and welcome 2019, another year on YouTube. Awesome. Had a lot of you guys messaging me, where the fuck are the lists, man? Where's the best of, the worst of, the not so awesome but should have been awesome movies of 2018? They're here right now, you impatient bastards. So I got top 5 worst horror movies, which is this video you're watching right now. Top 5 best horror movies, which will be coming up very shortly. Then I'm going to have, as far as just overall films of 2018, of course, best and worst top 10s. And I'm also going to be doing top 10 most disappointing movies of 2018, which is usually my favorite video to do because it gives the most interesting conversations. Because they're movies that I don't necessarily love, don't necessarily hate, but they're movies that did not meet my expectations. So there's always a weird list. And then, of course, you'll get my most anticipated of this year. So this whole weekend, maybe even bleeding into next week, look forward to a lot of lists. Without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and get into this list, guys. Now, something I will warn you of before you start flooding me with hate comments in the comment section. There are going to be movies on this list that are not necessarily garbage movies, because I avoided a lot of garbage movies this year. You're gonna hear me say the same thing when I get to top 10 worst movies of 2018. There's movies on that list that are somewhat decent, because I avoided the shit bombs. I avoided the 50 Shades Freed. I avoided Death House. So, with that being said, top 5 worst horror movies of 2018. Number 5 for me is The First Purge. Now, I'm not a gigantic fan of the Purge franchise. I think the Purge Anarchy is awesome. I think the first one is a giant missed opportunity. Luckily, they rectified that with Anarchy. Election Year's decent. It feels like it goes for a lot of the things that Anarchy did, but just doesn't quite succeed in that. The First Purge, while it is interesting enough to kind of go back and see exactly how the Purge started, where they lose me in this movie is the characters and the way that they decide to utilize certain characters. The character that ends up being your hero, your protagonist, the guy that they make you follow and root for in the third act of this movie is a drug kingpin that murders people cold-bloodedly throughout the runtime of the movie and flooded the streets of the city with drugs and made drug addicts, and he's a bad fucking guy. And the movie thinks that you're suddenly just going to root for him because he becomes John McClane in the last 20 minutes. No, that doesn't work at all. The movie also is a little bit annoying because it's really, really heavy-handed with its political statements. Not that its political statements are wrong, but the way that they just shove it in front of your face. I'm one of those guys, I hate talking politics. I hate bringing up politics. When I go see a movie, I don't want politics in my face. If it's a political movie, that's one thing. If it's a fucking horror movie where people are supposed to be getting killed, I don't want pussy grab jokes thrown in there and all kinds of stuff where it's like, okay, I get it, you hate Trump. Let's move on to the horror movies. The First Purge, again, not a terrible movie. I think I gave it a see it on Netflix or maybe skated by with a skip it. I really don't remember. It's that unmemorable of a movie for me, but that is the 5th worst movie that I saw this year as far as horror goes. Not too shabby. Number 4 is The Nun. Did not expect this movie to be on my worst of the year. You know, if I had just seen Annabelle and then walked into The Nun, maybe. But Annabelle Creation, I thought, was a big step up from Annabelle. The first 2 Conjuring movies have been really good, so I figured they kind of learned their lesson. This is a very scary character. It looked like it was going for that period piece, dark, gothic horror stuff, which is awesome. You don't get too much of that nowadays. I was really excited for The Nun. What did I get? Jump Scare City. A lot of meandering around with characters that just feel like they don't want to be there, with actors that feel like they don't want to be there, with a movie and a script that borrows shit from horror movies that are much better. CGI galore. Again, movie is not terrible, but it's not good. I think this one did get a skip it. But it's just, ugh. When I think about The Nun, I just think about like a haunted house ride where you're buckled into a fucking cart and it just takes you from room to room to room for little quick, easy bullshit scares. And this movie telegraphs itself so much by repeating the same types of scares over and over and over again. Did not enjoy The Nun. That's number 4. Number 3 is a movie that's probably going to be very high, if not number 1 on most lists this year. And I definitely agree it's not a good movie. That's why it's on my top 5. But I gotta admit, I didn't hate it as much as everybody else. But it's still not good. Number 3, Truth or Dare. Truth or Dare is a movie I avoided in the theaters. I didn't get a chance to go see it and wasn't gonna fight to go see it. Wasn't gonna pay for a babysitter or try to find a family member to, sacrifice their Friday or Saturday for me to go and see a movie that I knew was probably going to suck. That everybody was telling me was sucking throughout Friday and Saturday of that week. So finally rented it on Amazon probably about 2 months ago. It's pretty much as bad as most logical people say. People that say it's one of the worst movies ever made, you haven't seen too many movies. But Truth or Dare, the concept is interesting. Group of friends get together. It's kind of like It Follows. This random stranger passes on this curse to them where they have to play this Truth or Dare game. And if you don't do the dare, or if you don't tell the truth, this demonic entity makes you kill yourself. But the movie's PG-13, so you don't get any really good carnage candy. You don't get any like Final Destination style kills. It makes you make this really weird, Lee from Dum Dums calls it the dirt face, where they're like, Truth or Dare. That's not scary. It's actually kind of laugh-inducing throughout it. But the movie is still somewhat entertaining throughout the whole thing. Like, even though it's bad, it's kind of like a guilty pleasure type bad. Like, I wasn't not enjoying myself watching it. I was like, yeah, it's not great, but it's okay. Then you get to the ending. One of the worst endings this year. I'm not going to spoil the ending in case some of you really want to see Truth or Dare, but the way they resolve it, it makes you hate the characters that live, which are supposed to be people that you root for, and it offers no resolution to the issue, no answers, nothing. It's just kind of like, and I guess it's to set up maybe a Truth or Dare 2, because Blumhouse loves those sequels. Not really worth your time, but it's not as bad as everybody says it is. But still, number 3, Truth or Dare. Number 2. Now, these top 2 are movies that I genuinely disliked. These are movies that I did not get any enjoyment from whatsoever, and they solidified themselves at the top of this list the second I was done watching it. Number 2 is The Open House. Now, this is a movie that Netflix dropped out of absolutely nowhere. I had heard nothing about it. What drew me in was the person on the cover, Dylan Minnette. I really like this guy. Loved him in the first season of 13 Reasons Why. Loved him in, what the hell's that name? Don't Breathe. Sometimes you forget shit, people. Loved him in Don't Breathe. God, I got something itching in my fucking nose. I'm not editing this out. I really like Dylan Minnette. I see Netflix-produced horror film starring Dylan Minnette. You have my attention. Sat down with Holly, we watched it. What a boring fucking movie. It's a movie about a kid and his mom sitting around in this house that they're putting up for sale. So there's an open house and there's a guy, it seems like there's a guy throughout the whole movie that's entering the house, and you have this, is it really somebody there? Are they going nuts? It's this mystery the whole movie, and then whenever you get to the end, it's one of the most unsatisfying endings I've ever seen. Like, it's a boring ass movie with characters I did not give a shit about, with a premise that I slowly suffered through, and an ending that just left me like, okay, watch something. God damn, fucking skip the credits. Let's watch something else. The Open House actually was one of those movies that kind of made me angry that I wasted an hour and a half with it. So, if you watched it, I apologize that I did not warn you guys and didn't put out a review for The Open House. But I'm right there with you. I feel your pain. Number 2, The Open House. But the Mac Daddy piece of shit of 2018, King Fuckface himself, Slenderman. Slenderman. Again, I didn't get to see this movie in theaters. Thank God. Did not want to go see it. Did not have any interest in it. This movie's about 10 years too late. When I saw the trailer, it looked like somebody saw the videotape on The Ring and said, let's make a movie about that. It was just weird visuals, the whole trailer, and the name Slenderman. This movie sucks. I finally watched it about 2 weeks ago on VOD, just getting ready for the end of the year. Like, I need to watch Slenderman. I can't put out a top 5 or a worst horror movies or worst movies of 2018 without seeing a movie that everybody hated. And everybody was correct. This movie is dog shit. You don't like any of the characters. It's not scary. The look of Slenderman is garbage. The CGI and the tentacles and stuff. There's no tension or fear throughout the whole movie. Bad dialogue. Basically the entire list of bad shit you see in a movie, Slenderman checks every fucking box on that list. Bad ending, garbage. Again, didn't suffer through it in the theaters, didn't put out a review, so if you were counting on me to save you the pain and you had to go see Slenderman to find out, I apologize. But again, right there with you. So Slenderman, number 1. Fuck you, Slenderman. Worst of 2018. Well, that's it, guys. That is my top 5 worst horror movies of 2018. Like I said, there's a lot of horror movies I did not see this year, so if you think some movies that really should have been on this list, put your comments down below. Put your own top 5 worst down below, and give me a little description of why. I don't like seeing in ranking videos where everybody just puts 1 through 5, and it's just like floods of comments of lists. Put why. That way I have an understanding of why they're that bad. And maybe there's a movie that's on my top 5 best that's in your worst, and then I can figure out why you didn't like it without having a comment. Motherfucker, why didn't you like this? So put your thoughts down in the comment section below, guys. Look forward to that top 5 best horror movies of 2018 coming up very shortly. Hope you guys had a great year back in 2018. I certainly did. Looking forward to an even better one in 2019. So please like and share this video. Hit that subscribe button if you're not already a subscriber. If you guys want to check out some social media links down below in the video description, you're going to get Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, my Spreadshirt store for Cody Leach merchandise like t-shirts and other cool stuff designed by the great Woody Bowen, and my Patreon page, which is a great way to give back to this channel and help this channel grow while also getting cool exclusive content for your eyes only if you decide to become a patron. So check all that out, guys, and if you want to check out some more of my other videos, including the rest of my best and worst, most disappointing, all the other lists of 2018, you can check that out by clicking right over here.